Today I'm joined by Randall Hill with GreatLIFE. If you're not familiar with GreatLIFE, we're going to learn all about it. Randall, how are you?
I'm doing great, Greg. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been cold, and so treadmills have been my friend. Have you got any of those around?
We have, I don't know, but we might have a couple of those laying around. You can see if we can get you on one.
Good deal. So every time I chat with someone, I like to get a little bit of background information. So Randall, for our audience here, the 605 Running Company YouTube audience, tell us who you are and why am I talking to you today?
Sure. My name is Randall Hill. Originally from Sioux Falls, kind of Harrisburg area. Started working for GreatLIFE just over 8 years ago. Kind of where I met Greg too. He's been a GreatLIFE member for quite a while. I've seen him using the treadmills, and yeah, I've been with the GreatLIFE team and really enjoyed every minute of it.
Sure. So what exactly do you do for GreatLIFE? I know that's a loaded question because you're a busy guy, but give me the rundown of what does a typical day look like for Randall?
Typical day. I still do a little bit of personal training, which I really enjoy. Right now, I currently oversee all the fitness centers here in South Dakota. Work closely with my team, making sure we can provide the best experience for all of our members. So, typical day, start usually training, try and get a workout in when I can. Try to make it to as many of the different gyms as I can, but a lot of it is, spent with people, which I really enjoy, whether that's members or team members. Spend a lot of time with their leadership team. But yeah, that's kind of a typical day.
Sure. And so where did you go to school?
Originally Harrisburg High School, and then Black Hills State after that. So I love Spearfish. It's a beautiful place.
And you're big into the outdoors, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I do a lot
playground.
Fishing. I do like to run outside, do some trail running. A little bit. I'm definitely not an expert, but I do dabble in that, mostly to stay in shape for hunting season. But yeah, spearfish, that's kind of where I fell in love, with the outdoors, and spent an awful lot of time, probably where I should have been in class, but
hey, that's not so bad to be outside and enjoying, what's been gifted to us. So
exactly. We only get a limited amount of time here, as to enjoy the outdoors, unless you really, really like winter. So you got to take advantage of it every opportunity you get.
I love it. So GreatLIFE, give me a rundown on the organization, because it's quite the deal. And for folks that aren't familiar with what's going on with GreatLIFE, there's a lot happening. So you talk about getting around to gyms. That's not like one or two stops in a day. There's quite a bit going on with GreatLIFE. So tell me a little bit more.
Yeah. So we started 8 years ago with Baker Crossing Golf Course and Willow Run Golf Course. And really worked hard to combine the golf and fitness, aspects of it, and just make it affordable for everybody. So we started with those two golf courses and a couple small fitness centers. Just going to give you the quick fast forward 8 years. Now we, own or operate 5 golf courses. We have a ton of affiliate courses that you can go play golf. And then we run 19 fitness locations, between Worthington, Sioux Falls, Hartford, Del Rapids, Yankton, and we even have Mitchell too. So yeah, it's been a lot of rapid growth for us. We've enjoyed every minute of meeting thousands of people, making an impact on people's lives. That's really what we're all about. So
absolutely, I think that's really where the connection with 605 Running Company, SKEDADDLE, our half marathon, what we're talking about here, where we really kind of are intertwined. Like you mentioned affordability, that's a big deal with the GreatLIFE mission, but then also incorporating the entire family, which is really what we're all about. So for me, I was traveling the country. I was signing up for races like the LA Marathon and other marathons around the country, Houston, Lincoln, all of these marathons that I was doing, and my wife would come along for the ride. So even before I had a kid, I was like, all right, well, you're just coming along, right? Well, what's she gonna do? And so, you try to bring in the whole family into the equation, because that's really the key to successful health and wellness is having that holistic approach and getting that whole family involved. And Great Life does a phenomenal job about that. Tell me a little bit more about families and the importance of the family and the aspect of what you're doing.
Yeah, obviously, one of our vision points is to make a difference in people's lives, especially, those of children. So it's really got to be, start when you're young. Even when I started with Great Life, I wasn't married yet. I got married. My wife and I used the membership. Now we have 2 kids. Our boys use the GreatKids. They love to play basketball. Do the swimming. All that. So there's something really to do for the entire family. And I've made so many great connections with people, kind of in that similar boat that are using, their kids are in GreatKids with my kids, and then, their wife's taking classes with my wife, or whatever the case may be. So we really do have something. The other thing that we've really done, on the golf side is kind of take that financial barrier out of it. It's very, very affordable to be able to take your whole family out there and go play golf. You don't have to feel bad. If you get 5 or 6 holes in and your kids, that's all they can take, for the time commitment. It's affordable, it's easy to do, and it's convenient. We have so many locations for everybody to use. And like you mentioned, Greg, if you want to make a lifelong habit out of it and really, be in it for the long haul, you have to get your family involved and find a way to do that. So that's really, really one thing that we pride ourselves on is being able to do that and just make it as convenient, take all the excuses out of it for you so that you can do as many things with your family.
Yeah, that's great. So, bowling is another thing. You mentioned golf. Yeah. You guys are into bowling. I mean, Great Life it's all encompassing, and come back to that affordability piece. You've got multiple different types of memberships that are pretty accessible. Tell me a little bit more about that accessibility to memberships and what do different types of memberships include?
Sure. So we basically have two main types. We have a golf and fitness membership, and then we have a fitness membership. Right away when we started out, we had kind of that long-term contract. Now we also have the option for like a month-to-month membership. So, there's no long-term commitment on those fitness memberships. But they're all very affordably priced. Another great thing that we've added is a ton of member benefits. Like I got a little card here. Nobody's gonna be able to see that. But discounts on a bunch of different things, like you mentioned, with the family. We have the golf, we have bowling alleys. We also have tons of discounts just on things you can do, like with your family, whether it's the Pavilion. Tons of different activities that you can take your kids and go do, or, date night with your wife. There's discounts on food places that we have throughout town. Just with your Great Life membership, you're part of that, and you can get all these, have access to those great discounts and, just get together with people.
Yeah, so, both of us have young kids, and I've been able to use my Great Life membership at the Pavilion. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where the 605, the 60.5 Health and Wellness Expo will be. And that's an amazing facility, especially this time of year when it's not so nice outside for everyone. The idea, being a runners are notorious for, we're not going to commit long-term to a membership, but man, if we need a treadmill like we do maybe this week, that month-to-month thing sounds pretty appealing. But those discounts, that just comes back to that family thing where if you've got kids, those things are really valuable and they add up in a hurry. That Pavilion deal alone, I think personally, in my experience with a 2-year-old, kind of makes the Great Life well worth it. You know what I mean? So
well, it's that my wife and the boys go there. I haven't been there as much as I'd like to, but they go during the middle of the day, and it's a great opportunity. Really look forward to the kind of the kickoff before the race there too.
Yeah, it's always, what are we going to do that's going to wear everyone out? So Great Life gives you lots of those opportunities. Tell me a little bit more about the GreatKids. You kind of mentioned it a little bit, but what does that look like? Since we're talking about kids, I can talk about my kid all day long. I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah. So it's included with the family membership. We've got it at 2 locations: the Performance Center, which is where Greg's usually at, if anybody wants to track him down. Over on 69, and then we also have it at our Wood Lake location. We've got our team there is outstanding. We have an activities calendar that the kids go up. So it's not just, you're checking kids in and they're just going to, sit there and watch TV while you work out. I mean, they have different activities, different crafts, different games, or play everything. Coaches get in there and they play different activities with the kids. So really it's not, I mean, you feel good about it because your kids are getting something more than just, kind of that babysitter for that hour or 2 hours. And you can take advantage of that 2 hours per day, while you're there working out. Really, it's also a way, to give parents a little bit of a break. I know there's a few people who use it, going back to school, dropping their kids off, they'll go work out quick and sit and finish homework for an hour and a half, right outside the door and just watch their kids play and have fun. And yeah, it's a really great benefit for all of our members. For sure.
And we can't stop there. So you've got this thing. It's sort of a small little thing, but it's the GreatLIFE Cares. Tell me a little bit more about GreatLIFE Cares and some of the things that means and how GreatLIFE is involved in our community through the CARES program.
Yeah. So the GreatLIFE Cares Foundation is something that our founder and chairperson Tom Walsh started right when GreatLIFE started, or just about. Really, we support a lot of organizations, and we're very, very big on community involvement. It's one of our pillars of GreatLIFE, is community involvement. This is probably the subject I could talk, just as much as fitness on. We do a ton of different things. We were responsible a couple years ago for bringing the Teammates, which is a mentoring program, here to Sioux Falls. And that's something, I'm personally involved in, and, a lot of our team is personally involved in. And really it's just creating those lifelong relationships with kids who need a positive role model. Some of it, they might not even necessarily come from a bad place or, a broken home or anything like that, but it's just another positive, role model for these kids. Very, very cool program. The other thing that I would say one of our main focuses is our Play Everything program. So we're involved right now in 7 of the Title I schools in Sioux Falls. 7 schools, and most of them are Title I schools in Sioux Falls. And what we do is provide activity and try to find opportunities for kids who just may not be able to afford, to go to a basketball camp, or provide, be able to afford going to a football camp. We try to bring a world-class camp to them. So the kids register, they're either doing it before school, during the school day, or after school. We have players from, some of the sports organizations that come help teach it. But really, we're doing that in the schools 5 days a week, and providing opportunities for kids on the weekends. And that's really kind of, one of our main focuses. And then we have a bunch of different organizations that we support. We have a big golf tournament called the Challenge for Change. We have what we call the GreatLIFE Cares Coalition, a bunch of different organizations where they raise money, play golf, which, obviously we got a golf course that they can play at, and really get all those like-minded people together and just really do what's best for Sioux Falls and just support each other.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff. It's amazing. Such an amazing organization. I can't imagine that when you were in school, you could even fathom an organization like GreatLIFE, let alone imagine yourself working there now. It's got to be an incredible journey.
Yeah. Truthfully, I'm, looking, do I, go do my master's here and go down the strength coach route, and it was like right as I was graduating, GreatLIFE was starting, and I got my, kind of got my foot in the door here as just a personal trainer. And I really fell in love with that process, and it's just been such a fun, place to grow with. Sioux Falls is such a great community to be in. There's just not many places like it, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it's truly a model that other areas are wanting to replicate and try to do. And I think it comes down to passion. Tom, the founder, definitely has a ton of passion, and you can't do the things that GreatLIFE has done without that. And I remember I'm a OG GreatLIFE member. Like when it first came out, everyone was like, this is pie in the sky. That can't be for real. That's not what you're going to pay per month to golf all these courses. There's not going to be facilities, like high quality fitness facilities that you can go to just on a whim, but it's all come to fruition. It's like, and fast, really fast too. It's just amazing, all of those types of things. So what an amazing organization. But I'm not done with you yet. I want to tap into your expertise a little bit here, Randall. You mentioned training and stuff. And one of the dirty secrets for runners that they don't necessarily realize is they've got to get involved in a few other things. And so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. So just, tell me, what does GreatLIFE have to offer for this? Okay. So first one, I want to ask you about nutrition. What sort of programs, would I be looking at for nutrition with GreatLIFE?
That's a great question. We actually have a nutrition coach at GreatLIFE. We have free nutrition consultations for our members on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You can come in and do a body scan, kind of go through some of those just general, nutrition questions. And, Austin is his name, and he's fantastic. He's been with GreatLIFE for a long time, helped hundreds of people through all kinds of, various obstacles. But basically, you can sign up for those on our app, even at Woodlake and at the Performance Center, and just sign up for a free consultation. If you want to go a little deeper further than that, there is a charge for that. But really, that time is meant to just help educate people and get you started on the right track. There's nothing more frustrating than feeling like you're spinning the wheels, and a lot of times it's just you're not eating enough, honestly. Sometimes people are eating too little. Sometimes it's adjusting those macronutrients a little bit. But really, it's a very good service that we offer to our members, and definitely something that people can take advantage of.
I love it. Runners are not afraid to eat, and they're often not eating enough, so you're absolutely right there. Next question I want to ask you about, and I think you might know a thing or two about it, but personal training. What might be available for personal training?
Yeah, we've got some amazing trainers, right? I mean, we always do, but right now, specifically, we have them at almost all of our locations, which is great. We have different options available. I know maybe specifically for the runners, anybody looking to do any kind of cross training or supplement their running workouts, we've got a ton of different things that we can do to help you with injury prevention, with some strength training, even just a little bit of the basic prehab and rehab type stuff, before you run, after you run. And then we also have, along with the personal training too, we have these recovery lounges. I don't know if you've tried one out yet, but we've got hydro massage beds, the Normatec boots, which are definitely a favorite among runners, at 2 of our locations. So those are a great thing to do after your training session or after a long run. So.
Yeah, you're foreshadowing. That was my next thing, was talk about recovery, but I'm prepared, and I think you might have an answer for this. Some of those other restorative things that runners typically like to get into, when you think about hip and core, you start to think a little bit about maybe yoga. And also this time of year, I'm freezing cold, man. What does GreatLIFE have for me if I'm thinking about not being freezing cold, and also thinking about my hips and my core and my overall flexibility?
Yeah. That was a great segue. There's no way I'd be able to miss this opportunity to plug. So we do have over 119, I think 119 right now, group fitness classes a week. A lot of those, we do have a hot studio. We've offered a few things. We do our schedules in trimesters, so 4 months at a time. But we offered some restorative yoga, some really low impact options too. I'm guilty of this. I don't do it enough, but I've really made it a point to get there on Saturday mornings and take my kids with. It's just because I know if I don't do it, I'm not going to get better. So you always feel better when you leave. It's always also nice to go in when it's, 10 degrees and get into that room where it's 100 degrees and sweat for a little bit. You just feel so much better after, get your body moving, especially, if you've been running and in those repetitive movements over and over and over. It's good to loosen up those joints. And really, it's more than just a stretch. It's a lot different than, especially getting there for the first time, than what people think. It's a great workout.
Absolutely, yeah. So I love yoga because you can use it for so many different things. You can build strength, you can do restorative, flexibility. It's all phenomenal. And then having the options of different types of yoga classes and facilities to utilize, I mean, it's incredible. Still included in GreatLIFE.
Yeah. So Saturday, 9:30, one of our instructors, I won't say her name, but I've got what I've established as the dude corner in the back right. You're welcome to join me on Saturday morning, 9:30.
I love it. I love it. Another thing that runners are guilty of partaking in from time to time is getting in a pool. Tell me about pool facilities, what that looks like.
Yeah. So we've got our Wood Lake location, which is a designated therapy pool. That just means the temperature, it's a little bit warmer than normal. So like for your Olympic swimmers, might not be necessarily the best option. It's also just a little bit short of the full Olympic size, but it is a great option. We do have lap lanes, but it is a little bit more comfortable if you're not, into the, if you're not doing sprints or whatever. But we also have a partnership with MB Downtown, where GreatLIFE members can go there and utilize the pool there as well. That's a full Olympic size pool. And then if you're looking for something great to do with your kids, we have at our Willow Run location, we've got a smaller pool that's a little bit more kid friendly as well.
Yeah, being downtown, I definitely have taken advantage of the MB pool quite a bit. So good facility. I actually learned how to be a lifeguard in that pool. So
really, that's awesome. Yeah, I've every time I kind of get back into swimming and you go with somebody who actually really knows how to swim, like it is amazing how difficult that is.
You're wiped out for the day. Yeah.
Well, I'm a little competitive, so I try to keep up. One of our fitness leaders, he's done a lot of triathlons and stuff, and like, hey, I'm training, do you want to come with me? And it's like, sure, I do a couple down backs, and I'm like, I'm gonna need like 5 minutes, and he's just, it looks so easy.
Yeah. So live, play better. That's really what it's all about, right?
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Randall, for sharing information on GreatLIFE. And for our runners out there, we're really all about those, first time runners, lifelong runners. Anyone can come and do SKEDADDLE, but we understand our race is at the end of April. And to be able to successfully train for a half marathon, you really have to consider finding a GreatLIFE facility near you, which is easy to do with all those locations. And they've got phenomenal treadmills. I didn't even mention that, you're the one that shops around for the best treadmills. So maybe next time we can talk a little bit more about all the great treadmills available. But thank you so much for the time today. And definitely I encourage everyone to utilize that GreatLIFE facility and get a membership. It's well worth it for your entire family, not just you.
Yeah, thanks. One thing I'd just say, for anybody who is looking to come into a GreatLIFE facility for the first time, we have what's called a Great Start. And we mentioned, working with the trainers. The Great Start is a free one-on-one consultation with a trainer. Every new member gets one. Take full advantage of that. We want to see you succeed and get to wherever you're going to go. That trainer will help you come up with a game plan, point out the things. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of locations, but they'll help you and kind of guide you along the way. So please take full advantage of that. Yeah, just don't be afraid to stop on in and ask for a Great Start too.
Absolutely, 100%. Like I'm glad you brought that up, because probably two of the more intimidating places to walk into are the gym and the running store. And both of them have real people like you and I at them that truly want to just see you in the best version of yourself and want to help you get there. So I'm glad you brought that up. Good final plug on that one. So
perfect. All right, well, yeah, thanks a lot, Greg. Really looking forward to the SKEDADDLE on April 23rd.